Hi, my name is Sally Lawson and I'm president of ARLA Propertymark. My word, what a year we have ahead of us. It's absolutely phenomenal, the amount of changes that we have had, but also the amount of changes that we've got coming too. And I know, like me, you're probably concerned right now about what you're going to be doing in your business in relation to the tenant fee ban that we now know are going to be coming and are going to be affecting all of our businesses. Now, across the country, many agents are suffering somewhere between a potential 10 and 25% loss. I don't know how much you're losing, but it's going to hurt. So here's a few things I just wanted to talk to you about that perhaps you might want to consider looking into your business to see if there's ways that we can either save money or make more income. And I think the first thing we need to be aware of is, as letting agents, what do we actually do for our money? And here's a really interesting exercise for you. Go back 20 years ago. If you were in the industry then, find somebody who was. Go back 20 years ago. What did we do for our fee? It's really quite interesting because if you actually go back 20 years ago, what you'll find is we did very little. A tenancy agreement, which was a photocopied form, a little inventory, referencing in its current format didn't exist. It was actually very little. And yet most of our fees across the industry were somewhere around 12.5% and 15%. But if you actually look at what we do now by comparison, and over the years you've seen like the gas regulations, electric regulations, licensing regulations, the Immigration Act, the deregulation bill, the smoke alarm and carbon monoxide regulations, the data rules coming in, over the years an increased massive amount of layers of legislation. And yet most of us charge a lot less than we used to 20 years ago. And yet our businesses have had to put systems in place to make sure we've got all the compliance in place, that our service are the same level, that we're legally compliant and our customers are legally compliant, and yet we're charging less for it. So what I would say to you as a letting agent is just have a look at what you do for the money. Have a look at what service you're providing. Is it different to what you used to do? And could you perhaps break it up a little bit? Could you take some of those bits out of that service that you offer as an all-in-one package and perhaps break it out and create a higher level service perhaps, or a lower level service? Perhaps to create a lower, a middle and a top level service? Because I think one of the problems that we have as letting agents, and I'm sure you'll agree that one business's version of what property management is completely different to what another letting agent's version of what property management is. I know in my business that we just take care of everything. And yet I know there are businesses out there that property management is ticks in boxes. We deal with this, this and this, we don't do anything else. So if we've only got one definition for property management, that in case is why we've got this problem that we're being compared to people that are a lot cheaper than us. So this is why I'm saying, have a look at what you're doing in your business. What I did with my property management team is I gave them a traffic light system, red, yellow and green. And what I actually got them to do was to identify everything they should be doing as part of the contract in green. Everything they are doing but they weren't sure they should be doing as part of their contract when the landlord was saying, can you do, can you do, can you do, in yellow. And the things that they were doing to just help out that they really shouldn't be doing is not part of their contract, like sorting out tree disputes on neighbouring grounds, for example. And then work backwards from there. How do you want to provide your service moving forward when you've got people in the market that aren't providing anywhere near the service that you are and undercutting you for fees? So that's my top tip for the day. And talking about tenant fee ban and the changes that we've got in this industry, I think as an industry we're going through massive change. We've got situations where we've got to look at how we clarify what we do for our customers. We've got to look at the services that we provide, and we've got to look at how we're going to be able to replace that income. And I think if first point you know exactly what you're doing for your money, it's a good place to start. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Sally Lawson from Propertymark. Thank you.